Hey, what is up everyone? Hope you're all doing very well. Today we are going to talk about my DIY custom headless build. There is so much in my head, so it's going to be a lot of talking. So I'd suggest you'd grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, or a cold one even, if you feel like it at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm not exactly sure where to start. I think we'll just start by taking a look at the guitar again and go over the specs. First of all, thank you so much for all the positive feedback on the building episodes. I was just blown away by how many people were reacting and just positively surprised. It's very heartwarming. Thank you so much, guys. I am really proud of the outcome of this guitar. So yeah, let's talk about it. It's a swamp ash body, a two-piece, as you can maybe see by the grain. It's a one-piece walnut neck and an ebony fretboard. We have a 26.5-inch scale, so it's a mild baritone, if you will. Stainless steel jumbo frets, glow-in-the-dark side dots. We have got a Graphtec nut, which was pre-sized and pre-slotted. We have a set of bare knuckle silo pickups. Now, these are probably not going to stay in here. As you may know, these are from my Markline custom actually, which has a pair of Legendary pickups in it, but I'm working with Legendary to get a set for this specific guitar, so stay tuned for that. We've got a super clicky 5-way Schuller Mega Switch, which was the reason for a slight issue that you've seen in the video. Master volume with a hipshot O-ring knob, which is sitting a bit too high because the pot hasn't got enough spaces underneath to sit lower in the body. We'll take care of that once the new knob arrives. Johannes from Polymeric sent me a message if I was interested in a custom knob, so I'm getting a 3D printed custom knob for this guitar as well. Speaking about custom stuff, lots of you have been wondering what this bridge is and where you can get it from. This is made by Markline guitars. If you know my channel, you know I'm a big fan of Markline. I own a Markline and we are very close, and yeah, I'm actually helping Marco to build the website for 2021. So we are very close, and he's making these headless bridges in straight version or slanted for multiscale. He is not selling these as of yet, but I think he will in the future. They will be, I think, available in a couple of colors. I chose red because it's a really nice contrast against all the natural wood. I think I needed one specific highlight on the guitar, and that is that red anodized bridge, which looks really, really nice. We're going to talk more about bridges later on, about choices that you have if you are trying to build a custom headless yourself. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, custom made headpiece system, however you want to call it. Flame maple cover, which is not very nicely fitting. I must admit, it's a bit, sloppy work there, but really happy with how the wiring looks. It looks super, super nice. I spent a lot of time wiring it up so that it's very, very clean. I even polished the back of the pot so it looks like super spacey. Stainless steel neck screws, 5, because why not? Oh yeah, speaking of reinforced stuff, we've got 2 carbon fiber reinforcement rods in this neck, and I must say it is very, very stable. So far this has not gone out of tune. Really happy with the outcome. I'm happy with the shape. I'm happy with how it feels ergonomically. The fretwork is, I would say, 95% there. It's buzzing a little bit. but that's something I'm still learning. I think fretwork is probably the most tedious and the most complicated and time-consuming thing to really get right, because if your fretwork isn't right, the guitar is going to be trash. It doesn't matter how well you build all the rest. Thinking about going to Crimson Guitars maybe in spring or so for 1 or 2 days to just focus on a fretwork scholarship. So that's going to be sorted. Yeah, but overall it plays like butter. You can really feel those stainless steel frets. They're like super smooth. This time I polished them with a polishing wheel to really get a final mirror shine finish, and yeah, I'm really happy with that. It's just the leveling that is not quite there yet, but I think I'll go over it once I really figured out how to exactly work with the frets. This was the first guitar that I designed on the computer using Adobe Illustrator. So I printed out the plan and mostly stick to the plan. I had to adjust some stuff like the bridge positioning, and this cutout I had to cut out more. You know, that's stuff you're figuring out along the build. But so far it turned out just like I imagined it when designing it on the computer. So that's really nice. Of course, it is very, very, very much Strandberg inspired. It looks like a Strandberg at first glance. So I'm not sure if Ola Strandberg is happy to see this or not. I mean, I'm not selling these like the Chinese fake guitar companies, you know. This was a build for myself as a prototype. If I would be selling this, I would still work on the design and make it even more unique. If you take a closer look, it is not like a Strandberg. It has less of that kink here that the Strandberg has, which is really dominant in that design. It has this curve here, which the Strandberg doesn't have. The Strandberg just goes in there. The Bowden doesn't have these bevels either. And the upper horn is quite different if you take a look at this section here, and it's pointing more outwards than inwards if you take a look at the Bowden. Yeah, so much for that. And of course, it's not an Endu neck. It's just a, I would say, slim C, modern C type of neck. Oh yeah, neck thickness is 19 millimeters at the first fret and 21 at the 12th, I think. So let's talk a bit about the building process. It was pretty straightforward. It felt more like a routine than, you know, doing something I've never done before. It is my third guitar after all. So I was pretty sure of all the steps that I had to do. Making this headpiece string retainment system was something new. And in case you're wondering why they are not equally spaced, is because I forgot that I had to drill a access hole for the truss rod. So I had to clear that. Yeah, that's a bit of a design flaw. I didn't think about this when designing it on the computer. So yeah, that's what I had to do. I also would prefer to have a bigger brass piece here at the end, so the string balls would actually, you know, really go in there and be flush, but it's not too bad. I think it still looks okay. Yeah, because of the body thickness, it is super, super slim body, 35 millimeters. I think a Strat has, I don't know, 43, 45 millimeters, so that's quite a lot thicker. I had some struggle with getting the switch in, which you have seen in the video. Also something I realized after actually putting the switch in there. So it is very, very high. I had to make this channel into the cavity cover to clear the switch, but it works now. And I think it looks semi-elegant. Could have been worse, I think. This was pretty much, other than that problem, a build without any problems, without any huge setbacks. It was about 60 hours of work, I think a bit more considering the work on the computer. I think it was 57 hours in the workshop, very, very roughly counted. The body is finished with Danish oil, which has hardeners in it. The back of the neck is finished with tung oil, and there's lemon oil on the fretboard, so 3 different oils for that guitar. I'm going to talk in a minute about where I got all that stuff. By the way, this neck has been proven in the smell test. It smells really nice. It smells like when I was cutting and carving the neck, which was a really, really nice Christmassy smell, if you will. It smelled like Christmas somehow, like warm and I don't know. It's really nice, and the tongue oil just lets the wood breathe. By the way, it is fitting into a guitar stand, which is really nice. At least one of these I will show you in the video. Yeah, so I've got this very nice Excel sheet printed out here for you with all the components, all the materials, and their prices, and where I got them from. There will be a list down in the description box below of all the suppliers that are used to get all the stuff. I'm not sure if we're going to talk tools today, if the video is getting too long or not, but let's talk about the materials. The body was from Solar Guitars, 64 euros. The neck, Guitars and Woods, 21 euros 99. Sorry. Fretboard, Guitars and Woods, 24 euros 22. Fretwire from RAL Guitars in Germany, 19 euros 50. Truss rod from Solar Guitars, 9 euros 20. Carbon rods, Solar Guitars, they were quite expensive, 24 euros 40 cents for both. The nut was from Thomann actually, 10 bucks I think. Inlays were pre-made dot inlays, pre-cut from Solar Guitars, 4 euros and 80 cents. The switch was from TLC Guitar Goods in the Netherlands, very expensive, I think 18 euros and 90 cents, but the quality is absolutely stunning. The potentiometer, 500K, also from TLC, 5 euros 55. Input jack from Solar Guitars, 14 euros 10, quite expensive I think. The fretboard oil was from RAL Guitars again in Germany, 6 euros and 30 cents. Some wire, TLC Guitar Goods, 155. The Danish oil I was talking about for the body, also from TLC Guitar Goods, 9 euros 95. Screws and washers for the neck screws, TLC Guitar Goods, 7 euros. The pickups, I didn't buy them because they came in my mark line, but if you would spec them out on the mark line, on the bare knuckle website, you would land at an amount of 363 euros unshipped. So if you calculate that, half of the price of this guitar is the pickups. Yeah, last but not least, let's talk about the bridge. I got the bridge for 120 euros. Now take this price with a grain of salt, as they are not available to buy yet from Markline. And remember, I am basically working with Markline, so I think this was a special price for my build because I know Marco and he knows me. So yeah, but that's what I paid. So we end up in total at an amount of 700 and let's say 25 euros for this guitar. Yeah, which sounds like a lot, and it's not cheap. I mean, building a guitar for yourself, by yourself, is not really to save money in the first place. But yeah, I would calculate 700 to even 1,000 euros for material supply if you're building a guitar for an individual. You have to remember that all the big companies, they get stuff in masses and masses, so they get a discount on the number of stuff they buy. So yeah, we as individuals, we have to spend more on all the different parts. Yeah, should you buy cheap stuff, cheap hardware and cheap woods? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't advise it unless you really just want to try for once. But see it like this. It doesn't really matter if you have shitty hardware and shitty woods or good quality stuff. The amount of time you have to spend to make it a nice guitar is the same. But in the end, you are going to end up with a guitar made of trash or something that is made of quality woods and looks nice and feels nice and also sounds nice. So do yourself a favor and invest in quality material. Okay, I wanted to specifically talk about the bridge, as I said in the beginning. So I got the Markline bridge, which, let's take it out of the equation of that list here because it's not for sale yet. And I don't know the price exactly yet for you guys. So let's talk about alternatives for headless hardware systems. First of all, there's Hipshot. Hipshot is a known brand. Hipshot is made in the US. It's quality hardware. You can be sure to get something really good, something that has been tested and all that stuff. But it is quite expensive, around roughly 320 euros without shipping to Europe, without taxes when importing it. So it's getting pricey here. Generally, speaking of headless systems, it is not cheap. Second option that I wrote down is Tan bridges from Turkey. Now, I've been in touch with them. It would have cost me around 200 euros for the bridge, with headpieces, by the way, of course. But you would have to pay via some Turkish payment service. You can't pay via PayPal because it's prohibited in Turkey. So I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready to put my money in some bank service, I don't know. Next on the list is Technology for Musicians, T4M from Italy. Now, I have no prices because there are no prices on the website. I assume they are between 200, 300 euros probably for a set. You have to contact them if you want to know. Then there is Mera Guitars, which is a small Ukrainian company which sell individual saddles for around $38, which will end up at around 200 euros for a set, unshipped. They never responded to my email, so that's why I didn't get Mera Guitars hardware. Then next we got ABM hardware from Switzerland. These are made in the Swiss, I don't know, Alps, next to cheese probably. I'm just kidding. 30 euros 55 cents for a single bridge element. So 230 euros for the bridge, but it doesn't include headpieces. They are 15 euros each. So another 90 euros, which ends up in 320 euros again. So same price as Hipshot, but since it's from Switzerland, and if you are just like me in Europe, there are probably no huge shipping costs and no import taxes, I believe. Last but not least, you've got these cheap, tempting bridges on AliExpress, on eBay, on Wish, and there are ones that look like the ones you are getting on the Harley Benton. Marco and I, we tried to get our hands on these, but we found a supplier somewhere in Asia, I don't know where. They have a minimum order of like, I don't know, 1,000 bridges or so. So there's no way you can get a single bridge for your project there. And please do not use the ones that I'm showing you right here, which is the one that I had on this cheap Strandberg copy years ago. It is trash. It is just absolutely trash. It costs nothing, but it is nothing. So please, just don't consider that. This has been a lot of talking already, so I'm not going to talk about the tools in this video. I'm going to make a separate one for that and just, generally talking about guitar building and not this guitar in particular. Again, thank you so much for all that positive feedback. I am really happy with how this sounds. It is really, really, how should I say, elegant sounding. It is just so dynamic and so defined, which is, I think, coming from the pickups, genius pickups. But if I may say so, the craftsmanship is also playing a role in this. And you can just hear those stainless steel frets sing, in my opinion. It just feels so nice. This is the first guitar that is really inspiring. I mean, I'm again at my student apartment right now. This is the only instrument that I've took with me. I play it every day, and it's just so much fun. It's inspiring. The sound is inspiring. I like to play it. I really enjoy playing it. There's nothing getting in the way of you know, expressing me musically, which is the most impressive thing of this instrument. It's like, it's not just I've built a guitar, it looks cool and it plays, you know, it's like, it's genuinely a tool to create, which is mind-blowing. And the first two builds haven't really been that, which is okay, which is fine. I mean, I'm learning, and I needed to build those to get to that level where the guitars that I make really start to become something special and something usable, something to inspire myself and other people, hopefully, in the future. Yeah, so I will try to build a little side business at some point. Right now is not a good time because I will be working on my master thesis until the summer. But after that, I will look into becoming a luthier. Not necessarily full-time, but as a side job, side business to start with. I don't think I'm going to invest in a CNC right away. Maybe I will never invest in a CNC and just keep making stuff by hand, because that's what I enjoy. And that would be the philosophy behind these guitars, that they are not made with a CNC and therefore not that absolutely machine perfect than some other builders can offer their guitars. But if you take the time, you can get pretty damn close to CNC stuff. I mean, okay, if you look at the cavities, because I made the template myself, it's all a bit, you know, minor, crooked and a bit like not perfect. But does it really matter? I don't know. Does it matter if the cavity is like 100% perfectly machined? I don't know. It's how the guitar feels, how it looks, if it's smooth, if the neck feels nice, if the frets are done well, and overall how the guitar makes you feel as a musician, as a creator. There's so much in my head, so I don't know exactly what to tell you guys. If you have more specific questions, put them into the comments and I will take a look at the comments and answer your questions if there are any left. Next video will be about tools, about, you know, generally how to start building the guitars if you have no experience, or what you should look for. No more tea left. Ugh, it's cold. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Thank you for supporting me in this video series and this project. And really looking forward to build more guitars in the future. Right now, the winter, I just can't. I have to study. And yeah, there will be the regular videos. Like always, there will be live streams, hopefully, this winter. I'm still working on a setup, so it's aesthetic and not just like my cheap webcam from the computer. That's it, finally, for today. Take care, stay healthy, stay at home, and I will see you next time.